how do you keep that people spirit going, particularly, when you're in that time where you need to scale up and you need to grow fast and you need to sort of put 20 restaurants, and particularly if you're into franchising, as Reynold, you are, you need to be like thinking on your feet, absolutely, because you have to be, servicing your franchisee, you have to be making sure that his outlets are working, they are up and running and they're working fine. So what is the human connect you as brand owners have built? And how do you motivate your teams, your franchisees, even your customers? How do you keep their spirits up to keep on coming back to your brand?
I think this business is about being hardwired. It's about being resilient. And this is a discussion also we were having back. Being resilient is not giving up when times are bad, pushing forward or yielding more when times are good, not taking your foot off the accelerator. I can just relate, I think in the last 10 days we've seen a lot of disturbance back in Chennai, and we had a cyclone come through for all odd reasons through Chennai, and a lot of businesses took a hit, correct? And people opened up stores to try and service customers in the morning, get them bread across the counter so that their regular customers were serviced, and then they were shut into the stores because they couldn't move out. And certain parts, we had heavy rain, some small damages here and there. But I remember coming back to the business on Tuesday morning when we said we're going to open up, and we walked into one of our processing centers, and a lot of water had come through because of the cyclone damage. And boys had been working hard, trying to get things online. And a couple of us who just walked in at that point of time just rolled up our sleeves. Somebody picked up a mop, somebody picked up a squeezy, and we started cleaning the place together. There was no words exchanged between us, we just started. We've all come up the ranks, we've come up from different backgrounds, but then when we get into offices, we leave some of these things behind, we pick up our own cup of coffee, that's life. But then few of us getting in just brought that renewed energy, and we were up with our stores by 5 in the evening. I think that energy comes from people. This is a very intensive people's business. So if you're hardwired in it, your people are as hardwired as you are. Vipin has been a promoter himself. We form part of managements in companies. And I think there's that fair balance that, promoters and the leadership bring to the business by staying connected. And gone are those days where in the industrial age, people would take orders from a system. Today, they are more connected. They would like to see the faces of the business in the business. They would like to talk openly to the faces of the business.
There's social media.
And yes, there is social media. So there's no longer, you will stand with your audience of team and crew and communicate, and you will see somebody probably videograph what you're saying to them and probably put it on a WhatsApp group that evening itself or that instant itself. So as leaders of the business, if you're hardwired, you're connected with your people, I think that inspires a lot of energy through and back again to you.
Sure. So coming to both of you, I mean, so times are going to be, it's never easy, particularly for the people who are working in the restaurant business. So how do you keep your team spirit up? How do you not let them get depressed or down or not feel if today's sales have not been as you anticipated as a brand owner?
So normally you don't, whenever there's any problem as such as you saying, so you try to motivate them with saying, yeah, there is next time, we'll try, we'll push. You need to train your staff who are below you. And normally it's more of words. If you can energize them and motivate them, I think you can have your way. I mean, there's no looking back. But your team needs to be a team. So our industry, the major problem is the rollout. The people who leave, I mean, it's the highest rolling industry. So if you can get hold of that, I think there's no looking back for you.
Is there some sort of a rule book one can follow in terms of keeping team spirit high?
I think for people management, see, people are the biggest asset or they can be a liability. There is a worldwide survey somewhere I read on Google a few years back, and it said across all industries, across the world, on an average, out of every 10 people, 2 are positively engaged, 5 are passive, and 3 are negatively engaged. It's shocking. 3, people are pulling your pants down every day. And we forget them. So I think for the first thing what we should do is we should love ourselves. If we can love ourselves, we can love our people. We should love them so much because they are going to in fact give delight to the customer. We should love them so much that either they change or they leave you. Now somebody asked me a question that you conduct so many training classes, you do this, you do that, and what if he doesn't change even after that? So I told them, when I have a headache, I have a Saradon tablet. And with one Saradon tablet, if the headache doesn't go, we increase the dosage to 2. So if you love him so much and he doesn't change, love him more than that. That either he'll change like a double Saradon tablet or he will leave you. And if you have seen that movie called Munna Bhai Lage Raho of Sanjay Dutt, that Jadoo Ki Jhappi, I think that works wonders. I learnt it from Sanjay Dutt. You try the Jadoo Ki Jhappi with your people, things will move smoothly. I'll give you an example. In Chennai, liquor, I think, sells at about 20, they sell about 25 or 26,000 crores worth of liquor every year, the government. One of the highest states in terms of revenue, the prices are very high. To get a license, it takes you 6 months, it can take you 1 year. There are hotels which were, ready, but the bars were not open for 12 months. I got my license for my bar, which I don't run now, I sold it, for my bar in exactly 25 days. And I think it worked because of, karma and the Jadoo Ki Jhappis that I would give to the person who was in charge of going and getting the license. And I paid zero corruption, believe me. Zero corruption, not a naya paisa was paid. But when finally I was abroad and I got a call that your license has been given on 15 September 2011. So the first thing I did was I sent a email to my company that when I am there, Charles will be there and before 50 people, I'm going to give him a reward. Not a reward of 10,000 rupees or a 1 month salary. It's a Jadoo Ki Jhappi. I think Jadoo Ki Jhappi works. So love, love, love. If love doesn't work, increase the dosage. People will fall in line.